Hey guys, it's me, Katia. I'm here with a video about authenticity and how important it is that we are true and very real with the stories that we tell each other. Because I think we're living in a time where anxiety is just a bit too common. I've always struggled with anxiety and depression, and I feel like lately I've been dealing with it a bit more because I'm in my late 20s now, and honestly, life hasn't gone exactly how I wanted it to. But at the same time, a lot of my goals have changed as well. Like when I was 19 and 18, I didn't really have a great idea of what I really wanted. Like what I wanted was to not disappoint my family, basically. And I didn't really have, of course, I had my dreams that I later embraced, but my main goal was to just be what everybody wanted me to be without really being true to myself. And I find myself now, I'm 27, and I guess on the outside or to others, it may look like I'm okay and stuff, but I there are still things that I worry about, and there's things like just like everyone. I think everyone may look better on the outside because no one knows inner thoughts and inner desires and plans that we had for ourselves. And so my thing is, I just wish there were more authentic stories being told nowadays, because when I think of back in the day, right, you would probably compare your life to like a TV show, like let's say I don't know, just any movie. Like, oh, look at it, like Sex and the City. When Sex and the City was like a thing, like, I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of writers out there looking like, oh my God, why can't I afford this Upper East Side apartment in like Manolo Blahniks? And it's just a TV show. And that's the thing, you can rationalize it by saying, well, this is a TV show, these are actors, whatever. You can kind of get out of your own head and stop comparing yourself to everyone. And I think now it's pretty hard to have a reality check, because instead of TV shows and these fake characters that we are comparing ourselves to, we compare ourselves to like social media, these real life people that we actually know that seem like everyone seems to have this perfect life. And I hear it all the time. I've said it myself, and I go through my stuff where I'm just like, oh my God, everything I do is wrong. Everybody else has it right. We all go through that, especially people in their 20s. I think because this is our first decade of, for most people, being on your own, being an adult. There's no structure, there's no plan mapped out for you, like as in previous years where, okay, you go to school, you get this grade, you guaranteed to move on to the next thing. Like when you're in your 20s, you are responsible for your evolution. There's no teacher to grade you. I mean, unless you're in school still, but even when you go to grad school, it's the same. It's like you're still, most most people who are in grad school for the first time, they're going to school for themselves. It's not because my parents told you, like it's not like your parents told you to go, and it's not like, you were expected to go. It's like I feel like your 20s are the first time you really have to be accountable, like truly accountable for yourself, and it can be nerve wracking. Um, but I say all this to say, I think we compare ourselves to each other too much, and it causes that anxiety. And I think a great way to combat that is just being more authentic. And it's not to say, what I'm saying is, I don't think everyone should go on Facebook and just say, oh my God, I'm actually having a shitty day today, and whatever. I just think maybe people who are more influential could be more honest about stuff, and that's a goal that I personally want to do. With my writing, I try to be as transparent as I could be, um, and I think a lot of people appreciate that about my work, which I love, and I appreciate them for appreciating it, because I just think there's something beautiful about being authentic. One of my greatest inspirations, Maya Angelou, like I call her Mother Angelou because she's just really my like soul mother. And one of the things, I started reading her like many Black girls, like, you know, preteen years. You read I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. And one of the things that I loved about her, and which kept me a reader for my entire life, is that she was so honest, you know? She was so honest about her flaws, about her fears, about the times she was lost, and about the times she went off track, about the times she was confused and hurt, and all the pain that she went through. And it wasn't like, what was me? It was more like, this is real. I'm human. This is what happened to me. And I got out of it. And you know, this is how I went about my life, and these are the lessons that I learned, and I love that. You know, another person who I love is Oprah, who's also the same, and she looks up to Maya. Maya Angelou was her mentor, and you know, those are the kind of people that I am drawn to, and I think so many people are drawn to that because you feel safe and you feel like, okay, so I'm not the only human being on this planet, okay, and you know, these, and then of course you look at them like they're successful and um, you look at them like, oh, okay, well, if these people, and just anyone that you look up to that are honest about their life path, you look to them and you say, wow, they overcame the things that they went through, and they still are going through stuff or whatever. They're human and still met their goal, you know, whatever your goal is. Um, but I find, right, like now, there's so many people that are trying to sell this life. Like they're selling a life. They're selling this idea because I got an email recently. I subscribe to a lot of great things. Like there's so many great influential entrepreneurs. Now I love that we're living in this time where people are just doing whatever they want to do on their own. And there's this person that I follow, and they're very influential. But one thing I wish, not only specifically them, just a lot of people, and I'm noticing it's a trait, but one thing I wish they would do is tell like a real story. So this person that I'm subscribed to, they sent an email and they basically said, in a nutshell, um, I made a mistake in my life, but this mistake was basically led me to this perfect life. And it's those blanket stories, basically, like it's just super generic, like very, oh, I was broke, but then I moved to a new city and all of a sudden I'm successful. Like a lot of people, when they tell their success stories, they like to jump from, oh, I had a bad day to, oh my God, now I'm a millionaire. You know what I mean? They don't like to tell you the real stories of what it takes to be there. Like, you know, they'll say stuff like, oh, my mistake was when I was 15, I didn't, you know, study in school, like stuff like that, stuff that are not really helpful or very authentic. It's kind of like, I think people are so scared to admit that they had struggle or they are human. I think people like to, like I said, they like to sell this life of, oh, don't you want to be like me? I have this perfect life. Don't you want to be like me? If you, you know, buy into whatever I'm selling you, you'll have this perfect life. And, you know, it works because, like I said, we're living in the social media age where everybody wants to be the millionaire. Everybody wants to be the famous internet star. Everybody wants to be quick fame, quick everything, right? Quick money, quick whatever. So I get it. It works. It's, you know, it's a great business plan, but it's just so not helpful. You know, when I hear success stories, like things about like where your biggest mistake was as a teenager and something small, like, oh, I didn't join the football team, and you know, now at 21 I decided to do this, like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Like, you know, like I feel like when they tell these stories, like they know it's not like a major crisis, but it's something to kind of make them feel like, oh, I'm kind of telling you a little bit of struggle, but I'm not going to tell you my real struggle. And I hate that. I love when people are more authentic. Like, don't tell me, oh, I just moved to a new city and then out of nowhere I became this huge success. I just started my own business. Like, they're not going to tell you about the times that they were sleeping on someone's couch, or maybe they were homeless, or maybe they were moving from place to place to place, or they had a crazy roommate, or, you know, they didn't have money, or they had to, or the biggest things I think are missed out on success stories are, I worked a regular job to make money. I think that's what's so frustrating with a lot of other people who are trying to do things on their own. Sometimes their ego can get in the way of their success because it's like, oh, I don't want to get a regular job because, you know, this internet famous person or whoever that I see on the, who's like super big, didn't work a regular job. They just did what they had to do. But you don't know. A lot of people work regular, odd job. It doesn't matter. They do something to fund their dream. And however you find success, there's not just one way. You don't have to do that. But I'm just saying, I think it's so frustrating sometimes when you are going through things in your head and you have these people that you look up to, or that you watch or you aspire to be, and then when they do tell you a story, they don't tell you a real story. They tell you this fairy tale. They tell you this very abridged, once upon a time I was kind of lost, but oh my god, now I'm so found. Like they don't tell you about the twists and turns on that journey. And I think it's just, it's hard, to really connect with them anyway. Like with that, like to me, it would be it's hard for me to connect to a person like that. But I do think, like, I just wish we all, not just the people who are bigger influencers, but I think, like, I remember Oprah also said, she was in an interview with someone, I forgot, and she said something like, all of our lives are a platform. So you don't have to be a big TV star to tell a story. But I think it's something so, it's just so inspiring to, when you connect with people, be real. You don't have to say every single flaw. You don't have to be so open. But I think it's just, there's this beauty on saying, hi, I'm human, and yes, I don't have it all together, but this is what I love to do, and this is how I overcome it, and this is how I find my way. And because I think there's just too much filter, and it's just like you don't know what's real anymore. Like, one of the worst things I hate doing, especially in my 20s, and I just can't wait. I mean, I heard the 30s are better, but one of the things I really hate is when I'm in a group with people and everyone is like trying to battle each other with their lives. Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm single. Oh, I'm married. Oh yeah, but I want to be single because I could not be tied down. It's just like, why can't you just appreciate someone else's life and appreciate your own? Why does everything have to be a battle? Why can't you embrace who you are and not turn your insecurity into like something fake? It's like, I don't know, like, I'd rather you be real and say, yeah, I'm single, but, I'm still looking for someone. Because you never know, that maybe that married friend has a friend for you. You don't know. I just feel like I just can't stand the I am so perfect, don't come for me, and you'll never know my real life kind of thing. Because I just think this world is just so overly filtered. It's just too photoshopped. Everything is just so perfect. And everyone, believe it or not, there's so many people who are hurting inside behind those photos of perfect life, and I'm on a trip and I'm on vacation and I have this relationship and all this other stuff. And it's just, I don't know, I'm not saying that people are not actually happy. Of course people are actually happy, but I just think there's too much pressure and just too much of this trying to convince everyone that I am perfect and I have it all together, and my success story is I went from point A to point B and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't tell you anything in between. So, yeah, I was just thinking, because I was just like doing some reading, and I was like watching videos of Maya Angelou, her interviews, and I just love how transparent she is. And it was just so refreshing to just, I don't know, witness that. It was so refreshing, especially now when we're living in a world where you're just not allowed to be human. You have to be super perfect and super together. And, it's like, we have this idea of when you're in your 20s, you're supposed to get it all together. Like by now, you're supposed to have, it's like you're supposed to have all these things at once. Like, be married, but also don't be tied down. Have this amazing job somewhere and be creative, but also be practical. Like, have your like retirement plan ready. Like, it's just all this stuff. Have kids, don't have kids. It's like all this stuff, like this perfect idea of what a person is, we're supposed to be, and it's just this pressure to be that. And I think it's amplified by social media. It's amplified by the digital media. Like, it's all these stories about 20 things you'll regret in your 20s and all this other stuff. And I think it's just so refreshing to speak or hear someone who says, I made these mistakes, and guess what? Life went on, and you can move on, and you can do better. And so, you know what I mean? Besides this idea of you're doomed if you don't live this perfect life and be perfect like me, So I just wanted to express that, and I just hope, I try to do that with my own writing, with my own work, and I appreciate the people who do it too, with whatever work that they do or in their daily lives. And I hope to continue to do that. And yeah, well, I mean, I just want to like share this video. Maybe someone else felt the same. Um, this is my little, I guess, like a little rant. I don't know, but let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the space below, and thank you for watching. Subscribe, check out my site. Oh yeah, I redid my site. It's now kadiab.com. Before it was kazadaz.com. It was my blog, and I just felt like I kind of into grew into myself, and I felt like maybe I should just have a website that just kind of explains who I am. And yeah, it has my work on it, but yeah, I just gave it a little tweak. I love it now. Check it out, kadiab.com. And yeah, I'll try to update my YouTube a little bit more now. Yeah. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.